This is Dr. Ted Sibick. I wanted to make this podcast in response to just a lot of what I see out there. And what I see out there is a lot of people panicking and a lot of people getting prepared for something that they can't see, namely the COVID-19 virus. And I wanted to create this little video to give you a construct of, instead of panicking in the pandemic, how about planning for the pandemic? And basically, what that means is learning to take care of yourself so that your immune system is bolstered. Now, I've been studying immunology my entire life because of my pre-existing conditions as a child. And one of the things that I found out is there's so many things that you can do to bolster your immune system. And that's really what we need right now, to strengthen our immune systems to the best that we possibly can, and then basically trust in our body to allow ourselves to fight off any kind of, whatever kind of flu that we're getting, or cold, or sinus infection, or allergies, or all those things that could happen to us at any time. So I wanted to give you some things here to think about. Now, a lot of what I have discovered really comes from a lot of the ancient Chinese medicine. It's not TCM, it's called classical Chinese medicine. And this is back in the Zhou dynasty, back in the Warring States and so forth, when there was a lot of epidemics, pandemics, plagues, all kinds of different things that were affecting the people long before modern medicine. And so a lot of these constructs and ideas come from that kind of thinking, especially the Zhu Ren school, which is a school of naturalism. Now, the Zhou dynasty had hundreds of schools or different ways of thinking back then, and so you had a collective of a lot of different ideas on how to fight pandemics. So, number one, I want to give you some points to actually work on yourself, and then I want to give you some tips on how to prevent your immune system from crashing and burning, so to speak. But the first thing that I want to do is talk about is something very simple, and that's six directional breathing. Six directional breathing really activates your lymphatic system. It basically moves the lymph, moves the blood, and basically look online for my other six directional breath that should be in my podcast. So go there, learn how to do six directional breathing, practice that every night, every morning, and during the day. And if you know Qigong, that's the way you need to breathe to stimulate your full capacity of your immune system, as well as to get your lymphatic system moving. So learn it, practice it, do it multiple times daily. That is the most basic, simplest self-defense you can do against any kind of bacterial or viral infection, is to strengthen your immune system. So learn six directional breathing now and keep practicing it the rest of your life. The second thing is, people, you got to move, you got to exercise, you got to get out in the sun, you got to get out in the fresh air and do the six directional breathing and do your Qigong and do your yoga or whatever you're doing, and basically get outside. The indoors, the way we have our modern houses, are so airtight, it doesn't allow a lot of air to get in there. You need fresh air to stay healthy. And basically, if you don't get fresh air and you don't get sunshine and you don't get sunlight, the body is compromised, not only from a D3 perspective, vitamin D3 perspective, but many other prospects that we can't even go into detail here. But just trust me that that whole idea of getting outside is the healthiest thing you can do. So reduce your stress, go outside, go by a stream, go in the mountains, go in the meadow, take a walk, do the things that you know are healthy for you. Breathe deep with the six directional breathing, and that's going to stimulate your immune system as good as anything that you could possibly take. Now, there are some things that I think that you should basically be doing. Number one, you should be upping your intake of vitamin C and B vitamins. Don't go crazy on it. Moderation is always the key. There's a lot of people that believe that, in fact, mega doses of everything cure everything, but it's what your body can handle. And so if you're not used to mega doses, don't start mega doses all at once in a fear response. titrate it upwards if you believe that that is actually going to work for you. So the other thing I believe is strong immune system response is zinc and vitamin D3. Now we're coming into summertime here, or springtime I should say, and that is the time of the liver, so a lot of people were doing liver detoxes and so forth. So, I would like you to think about consuming a little bit more garlic at this particular time, dandelion greens, which are naturally coming up, and spring onions. These are all natural things that allow your body to purge and to cleanse and to heal. And so, making yourself a little bit of a salad with those things every day, as well as consuming some extra garlic, I believe is great for the human body, as well as consuming just tons of water. So flush, and also one other key component, the way the immune system works best is by sweating. So you need to sweat at this particular time. Raise that core temperature. Think of it that way. That's what you do when you get any kind of virus. Your body goes into what? A fever, which is to raise core temperature to what? Kill the virus, to kill off the infection, right? So get outside, move, sweat, get in the sunlight, put on some layers of clothes. Make sure that you sweat deeply and profusely. Okay, these are really simple tips, but this is how the body works. It's simple. It's not complex. You got to take care of yourself and make sure you make ample time to move, ample time to sweat, ample time to hydrate, and get good sleep. If you're not sleeping, talk to me, call me, get in touch with me, because I have methods for people to get good night's sleep, as well as some other different things that we can do herbally as well as supplementally, depending on how you are sleeping and what your patterns are. That's an individual consultation. I can't get into that here. But sleeping is the key for your immune system, and you need to sleep good and you need to sleep long. Finally, I want to give you some tips on, and if you don't know acupoints, then you need to go see a skilled practitioner. But these are the things to basically keep your immune system strong and to consider. We'll get into talking about Wei Qi shortly, but I want to give you these 3 points. Number one is that you want to moxibustion, stomach 36. You want, that's for 15 minutes bilaterally. And then you want to moxibust CV6 for 10 minutes, and then CV12 CV12 for 10 minutes. And basically you need to do that 3 days in a row, and then take several days off, and then do it again. And what this will do is this will bolster the immune system, and it will get the qi to flow, and basically allow you to basically have a bigger defense system. Now, what is that bigger defense system? That bigger defense system in Chinese medicine is called Wei Qi, and that basically is your first line of defense. It's sometimes associated with the lungs and the large intestine, but that basically is your breath, your breathing, and your first line of defense, which is your autoimmune system. And you need to strengthen Wei Qi in order to repel the viruses, okay? And basically, I'm going to be doing a follow-up video on specifically, a very specific Qigong that builds Wei Qi and allows Wei Qi to become thicker and be able to trap the pathogens before they enter into the respiratory tract. So stay tuned for that one. But that being said, these points will also help to strengthen Wei Qi. Now again, you need to moxibust these. I wouldn't needle these. We need the heat. So if you don't know how to do that, see a trained practitioner. I have plenty of my students available out there. Just go to my website and find them. Or in fact, contact me and I can get you in touch with people all across the United States and Canada that have been students of mine. So they can help you in these times of crisis. The other thing is, basic hygiene, of course, but, there are several essential oils that basically help people. Bergamot is one of them, and then also using clove. That's also very good and antiviral as well. And so spraying that, using some essential oils, spraying that around, spraying that on doorknobs and handles and things like that. If you have a place of business, that's very good. It's usually not offensive. There is essential oil of garlic, as I mentioned, but it's really strong, and I don't think you want to be having that in your place. It's going to smell like well, it's just pungent. So let's not use garlic spray. But those are some of the things that you can basically do right now. And again, the six directional breath is going to be critical. And I'm also keeping my office open during these times by selective appointment. And for those of you who have been clients of mine previously, I welcome you to come in, as well as to get your chi balanced so that you have a strong immune system going into however many weeks that we basically have to endure this or take this through its course. So strengthen your immune system. Get in touch with people that know how to help you to do that if you don't know how to do that yourself. And basically, don't panic. Have a plan. Okay? So, this is Dr. Ted Sibick. I hope you wealth and health, and I hope, in fact, that these few tips have helped you. And I will be talking to you again very shortly. Take care.